Alright, hey guys, sorry I've been busy working with Contenders teams, trying to get my level back up because I've been actively playing in Australia, so should be getting back to it now. This week actually has like a lot of interesting matchups and a lot of interesting implications for the playoffs, so if we look up here, what the playoff picture will look like, we already have Toronto and Gladiators in the playoffs, so it's same for Fusion and Envision, and there's a little bit of competing here. I actually don't think Simplicity will get in. Energy has bye week this week, so it should be very free for them, and Optic has Simplicity, so it'll really be decided here. I think even if Simplicity wins, I don't know if they'll beat Optic's points, so I don't know if it'll really matter. I think Energy has to lose for Simplicity to get in. And then on the other side, we have Mayhem versus Toronto. So it isn't a good matchup for them, but I don't know if Grizzlies can overtake them points-wise, depending on how well Grizzlies does, but Grizzlies is playing against Gladiators, so again, I think the playoff picture is going to be pretty much locked right here as it is with, basically it's these four teams versus these four teams. Like, there isn't going to be much movement here. I think it's pretty much decided that how the matchups are going to go, so we'll scroll down and we'll talk about the matchups for this week. So there's actually a lot of good ones. Gladiators versus Grizzlies, I don't think it's going to be that good. I think my pen tool is being annoying and it's not working, but there you go. Okay, I expect it to be a 4-0 actually for Gladiators. Grizzlies really hasn't looked that good. They've struggled. They've sometimes been running random lineups with like Pog and Graceful swapping in between each other's roles, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. And Gladiators has looked super duper clean with their tank play. Tank and supports, I think, are some of the best in the league, so I expect Gladiators to really be dominant in this matchup. XL2, I probably expect this to be another pretty dominant matchup. I think XL2 is still cleaning up some of their problems, and sometimes they can't run the most optimal lineup, so maybe I expect them to drop a map, but I still expect them to win. They basically just outclass them on every level. Even though XL2 has had a lot of problems with their offense, I think their defense has been super clean, so Mayhem versus Toronto, I think this is likely a 4-0 for Toronto. Toronto's been doing some roster changes, but I think Toronto has been pretty dominant with their DPS, and it's really hard to get over the fact. I don't like these matches as much, but down here, I think Optic versus Simplicity could be a close game, just for the fact that I'm not so sure on Optic. Like, I feel like Optic's been performing like really well lately, but I'm not 100% sure on them yet, even though Smurf's been performing really well. I still expect Optic to take this, but I think Simplicity could surprise them because it's literally their do or die match, so maybe they'll pull out all the stops. Envision versus Fusion. So Envision has been basically just spamming Sombra all day, and Fusion has been getting really close in all their series. Basically, against every single opponent, they've went 3-2 besides against bye week. So they get really close to losing games, but they have just such clutch play that I think they'll always come out on top in this matchup, and I really want to give it to them because they're super clutch. Even though Envision is likely going to focus the hell out of Who Are You, I don't know if that will mean enough in the end. So I expect Fusion to honestly win this, and if Envision isn't going to play other comps besides Sombra, I think they're really going to struggle. I don't think there needs to be much more said here. Bye week has yet to win a map, and they continue to have constant roster switches and things, and so it'll likely be a 4-0. I really like NRG actually, and I think they'll make it into the playoffs with that pretty easily. It'll matter seeding wise how well Optic does. So I think Energy will do well, and I'd really like to see them in the playoffs. So I think that wraps up all the matches for the week. It'll be exciting coming into the playoffs, especially because Envision and Fusion are looking to be two of the best teams, and then maybe Toronto Gladiators. So we'll end up seeing what happens after this. We'll talk about the playoffs and the interesting matches that'll occur after this week.